Hi, welcome to Cedarshed. We're back in the shop with another tutorial for the cedar roof installation. Step one, after getting your gable panels installed, after the top plates, your gable panels, we're going to go to the standard instruction manual here and the model specific. We're doing the 8x10 Rancher, but this will be applicable on all gable sheds. We have the layout here for the roof panels for this size of shed. So we have some drawings here and some sizes. So we're going to identify the roof panels and lay them out per this diagram. Over here on the standard manual, on this one, we have some diagrams here. We're going to start with the collar tie. And this is to ensure the walls are parallel and don't move from the weight of the roofs. As you see, we've already installed ours here. We've just used the spare board that we had around, and we've made it 93 inches wide, which is the width of the walls. After that, we've laid the panels out over here. There are some panels that have some overhang like this. There should be 4 of them. They come in pairs. Those are the RF 005s. They're 42 3/4 wide per the diagram. And that's how we've identified them. And it shows that we have one on each side on each end. In between we have a sandwich panel that's 46.5 inches. We've got that. And then we have the other one, which is an overhang panel again, that's 42, but this side it overhangs on the other side. So it comes in a pair. There's a left and a right. You need 2 pairs. Now that we have identified the roof panels, we've laid them out. We have the RF 005 with the overhang, and one on the left and the sandwich panel. This is a 2-person job for safety. Ready? The easiest way to install it with 2 people is to have 1 person on the ladder inside. Kevin's got his screw gun and 3-inch yellow screws. Jason's on the outside doing the heavy lifting with the big muscles. What we're going to do is we're going to use this overhang part of the panel to slide it up on top of the gable rafter that's already installed. We use this to slide on top, put the two rafters together. The bird's mouth should sit tight. If they're not sitting tight, there's another way we can do it. You're going to want to slide the roof panel up to match the peak.
Oh, hold on. Right there.
You want to slide the roof to the peak of the gable rafter and have it match up and line up to the other rafter.
So you good?
We've used the clamp to strap it tight to the other rafter. If you find it's not fitting right, we recommend doing that. If you could put the clamp down here, Kevin. If your bird's mouth is not sitting tight, a really handy trick is to use a clamp. What you're going to do is hook it on the edge of the rafter tail and on the inside of the top plate. He's just going to clamp it tight, and that's going to suck the bird's mouth tight to the edge of the top plate, which is what you want. After it's in place, you can put a 3-inch screw to hold it. A toenail.
I push down on that, Jay, or
Use about a 45-degree angle to fasten it through the top plate into the rafter. You're going to want to do that on every rafter spot. Now that we've installed one side, we're going to install the other side. So we already have the roof panels identified and laid out on this side. Jason once again has an overhang panel with the overhang going to the outside of the shed. So always remember overhang to the outside of the shed. Okay. Whenever you're ready, Jason.
Good, Kev?
Use your legs, not your back. Good work. He's sliding it again on top of that rafter, using it as a guide, pushing it up tight. Now Kevin on the inside is holding it and gonna once again push it up tight, Jason. It looks good, and he's gonna put a screw at the peak to hold it. You can put numerous screws all the way down the 3-inch yellow zinc. More screws is more strength.
Tight to the gable.
Once again, we're going to use the clamp on this side to hook on the edge of the top plate. Oh, can you hold it? Can you show that up there? And show the tail of the rafter. It's hooked on there, on the edge of the top plate, the tail of the rafter. That's going to pull that bird's mouth tight for us. It's just a little handy trick that we just wanted to show you. And once again, putting a toenail 45 degree, this spot here and this spot here as well. After we have a roof panel on each side set up, we're going to put on a gusset to secure it. This is the gusset here I'm referring to on the gusset detail. And as you can see, they're on the joint. There's one on each side. You're going to have to install it on the inside towards the gable, otherwise it'll be in the way of the next one. Okay. This is what it looks like here. It's the 2x3 with the angle piece. Should be around 67 inches. You just need to center it. So if you noticed, we got it on the inside. If you put it on the outside, you won't get the next roof panel on. You just need to eyeball it and center it. We recommend putting lots of screws in. If you live in a snow load area, you can add more gussets. Use the 3-inch yellow screws provided. I would put at least 3 to 4 screws in. The more screws, the more strength, especially in snow load areas. If you live in a high snow load area, you may want to consider adding more roof gussets. Now that we have one on each side installed with our gusset, we're going to add the center panel. This is a sandwich panel, 006. It has a rafter flush on each end. This is how we know it's a sandwich panel. There's no overhang on the sandwich panels. Once again, Jason's going to lift it up over the outside. Use 2 people. If you're not a big, strong guy like Jason, use 2 people to lift. He's just going to use it on an angle to slide it up, use some leverage, and Kevin's on the inside again once to catch it, and he's going to put them together. A clamp comes really handy in here for holding this. If you don't have one, I highly recommend using one for the installation. And that's just going to hold it there temporarily while he can grab his screw gun and screws. Using the 3-inch yellow screws again, as you can see, he slid it all the way up to match the other roof panel rafter. You want those peaks of the rafters to match. It is still movable at this point. If one's sitting a little higher, just adjust it. Put the clamp again to suck the bird's mouth tight on this panel as well. So we've hooked on the tail to the edge of the top plate, clamped it tight, and now Kevin's going to put a toenail to hold it before removing the clamp.
Jay, pull down.
If you don't secure it before removing the clamp, it's going to slide and move. So you need to clamp it, put the screw as you go. On every rafter is recommended. We've installed the left-hand side here. We've clamped the bird's mouth tight. We've put in our angle 3-inch screws from from the top plate into the rafters. We're going to do the same now on the other side.
Ready?
It's easiest to start on the gable end, as we're doing one on each side with the gusset, and then work your way down. Kevin is lining up the peaks, clamp the rafters tight, and he's going to put some 3-inch screws in to hold the rafters together. Put numerous 3-inch screws all the way along. The more the stronger. The gusset is your strength. If you have a high snow load area, you should maybe add some extra gussets. Sometimes we include them. Feel free to install them. Once again, using the same trick, we're going to use the clamp to hook it on the edge of the top plate and the tail of the rafter to fasten it tight, the edge of the bird's mouth, and then put a screw to hold it.
Hold it down, Jay. Yeah.
We're just going through the top plate on about a 45-degree angle, and it's attaching into the rafter up here to hold it. We got the sandwich panel on each side. We're once again going to put a gusset to hold it on the inside towards the back of the shed so that we have room for the next panel to come in. Once again, 3-inch screws. I recommend putting 3 or 4. This is where all your strength is coming that's holding the roof, is this gusset. So the screws are very, very important, especially if you're in a snow load area. You need to clear the roof or put a post under the gusset over winter, or put extra gussets, something to fortify the roof if you have a heavy snow load. If you don't have snow load, you don't have to worry. You can also put the other gusset on this side to complete that, as we got one here. Okay. We're gonna install our last 2 roof panels. We're gonna finish. We started with the gable and we finished with the gable. We worked our way down. We're going one on one side, one on the other, and we're gonna finish on the gable. Once again, slide the overhang up on that rafter. Use it to your advantage. If these aren't sitting tight, you can just use that clamp again. Suck them tight. Got Kevin on the inside, and we're just repeating the same process that we did on the other end. We're sliding the roof rafter to the peak to match the rafter
Push up, Jay. Yeah.
of the gable.
Actually, we're gonna have to put the clamp on that. Push up.
If you have to, you can use the clamp again to get the bird's mouth tight. Just want to reiterate, it's going to be a lot easier with this clamp. If you don't have one, I think it's almost worth it to go buy one. Just if you're installing this yourself. Just a handy tool to have around. Again, clamp to pull the bird's mouth tight, and a 3-inch screw to hold it on a 45-degree angle. We've slid this rafter up to the peak here. You put numerous screws to hold it. Then we're going to come around the final roof panel, 005 with the overhang. Sliding it up on the gable. You might just have to push the other rafter out if it's fitting tight. You can always loosen a screw from the gable and slide it over if it's fitting too tight. So the first step after sliding it up is to slide it up tight and put a screw in it. Got that tight, and we put a screw to hold it. Next, we're going to do the clamp here, leaving room to put a screw in. And everything is fitting flush and tight and snug. Very important to have a toenail in every single rafter, the whole shed. Both sides. Every rafter a toenail. We can put some extra screws in here now to fasten this into the gable wall, and then we're going to finish off with the rest of the gussets. So every joint you want a gusset on each side. After the roofs were installed, we put a gusset on each side of a double rafter. One here, one here. We put 3 to 4 screws on each end, on each side, 3 to 4 on this side, 3 to 4 on this side. Both ends. Now it's secure and it's safe to walk on. If you're included any extra gussets in the kit, it's not uncommon for us to send you extra. Please feel free to install it. It just fortifies your roof and makes it stronger. If you are in a heavy snow load area or planning to convert this into a cabin, I would recommend fortifying this roof. You can add more gussets. You can add a gusset on every single rafter, one on each side or just one. Every single gusset and every single screw adds engineering and strength. So just wanted to reiterate that. If you're in a heavy snow load area, it's important to brush the snow off if you're leaving it unattended, or just put a 2x4 post underneath down to the floor as we showed in the manual, and that would also secure it from a very heavy snow load. Our roof and gussets are installed. We are going to put the flashing in. This metal flashing that looks like so is to help waterproof the roof on the joints. You want to put the brown chocolate side outside because it matches the cedar color. So on the joint of the roof, here where we have the 2 rafters, you're just going to lift up on the bottom row the 2 rows of shingles and slide it out in the middle, and it's going to essentially just create another shingle. You can see it's in there in the middle, and then we're just going to go to the next row up after that. This once again is only necessary along the joint where there's a double rafter. So next row, and we're going to do the next row up after that, all the way to the very peak. If your gussets are installed properly per the instruction manual and video with lots of screws, you can also climb on the roof. It will hold your weight safely. Please be careful doing so. Maybe have somebody hold your ladder. When you're on the roof, please be very cautious and safety oriented. Once cedar gets wet from the rain, it expands and it squeezes everything nice and tight, and the roof does not leak. You have the Cedarshed guarantee if you install it just the way as we did. Once again, that was on the double rafter joint, and we're going to go and do that on all the way around the shed. So there'll be another joint here. We would also put the flashing here, and then we'll do the same on the other side as the shed here. You put the flashing here on the joint or the double rafter, and here as well. After our flashing's installed, we're going to move on to the roofing felt for the ridge cap. You're going to have a roll included in your kit. It's approximately 12 inches. You need to take a utility knife and cut it into 3 strips. They're approximately 4 inches wide, and we're going to use that for the peak. Here we've cut our roofing felt from the long roll down to approximately 4-inch strips. We're going to cover the peak using the roofing nails provided. It's the one with the larger head, approximately 1 inch long. We're just going to use this to lay the rolls across. You can overlap the joints, and you just need enough nails to hold it from the wind. The ridge cap, we're going to secure it in place. So just tack it in there so the wind doesn't blow it away. After the roofing felt is installed, we're going to install the cedar ridge cap. We're going to start by putting the bottom one down, and we're going to overhang it 1/2 inch from the cedar shingle. You can put 4 nails down to hold it. This next one then we're going to put on top. Just to make a mention, there is the way the joints line up, you can alternate them. See how it goes this way, then that way. They should be bundled like that way, but that adds more strength. We're also going to overhang this about 1/2 inch here as well. Next, we're going to come back and measure 12 inches back. That way the nail won't show on the next shingle overlap. That going 12 inches back leaves the 10-inch reveal open so that there's no nail exposure. Once again, take another cedar shingle with the joint going the other way, measuring back 10 inches. Once again, on this one, come back 12 inches to put your nails to keep the 10-inch reveal nail free. Kevin's coming 12 inches back. One nail each side. We're going to put one more on here and work our way towards the middle. Once again, alternating the joint overlap, 10-inch reveal, 12 inches back. We're going to stop when we're about halfway, and we're going to do the same from the other end and work our way back, and we'll meet in the middle. After completing the first side, we went and we started the other side the same way, in the same process with the overlap. We worked all our way back to the middle, and where we got in the middle here, as you can see, have this edge meeting this one here. We just measured 10 inches this way, 10 inches back this way, and we just ended up cutting the last one. And that completes the ridge cap of the roof. So if you follow the instructions of how we laid it out on this end, and then start the same on this end, work your way to the middle, and you can cut your last one if you have a saw to center it, and that will make it look symmetric the whole way.